It's Jason. I'm here from Experiences in Channeling, and I thought I would come on today to talk about hope, nostalgia, and Tartaria, getting ahead of the story. So nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. So let's begin. In the background, you see my site. If you're interested in the different things that I offer, please check it out. There's a link below. And so let's get into it. Before we begin, if you look here, this is the yin and yang symbol. And it's always very, very important, and I have to keep reminding myself as well, when everything seems to be falling apart around you, that there's always two sides to everything. That is just the nature of this third dimension. And continually to remember that whatever you see outside, people tend to see one side or the other. People tend to polarize, and when you polarize, you get lost. And so it's always so important, even though it's one of the hardest things to do, is to get into that neutral path, that middle path. So I often say that the yin and the yang are very, very polarized, especially at this moment. But the path of peace is in between. There's a little thin line that's hard to see, but it's right between, and that is the pathway, that is the way out of this. So I just want to, okay, so that was, I'll kind of preface that with that. So, yeah, so hope, right? So I just wanted to talk a little bit about a hope, because I find that, well, hope, it comes from inside, right? Hope, the only place it comes from is inside, but we're always chasing it. We're always looking for it, something to cure that missing something, that pit that you might feel in your heart, or something, in your life that's, you want to find something. That's why that's one of our main motivations. If we were like an actor in a play or a movie, I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to chase down all of those different things, those idols, as they call them. And then to realize that none of them bring us happiness, that the happiness always comes from inside, right? And so I just had a kind of realization about this, is that what happens is, though, it's not, well, it's true, but at the same time, we look outside for reflections of the hope that's inside of us. If we see something that reflects that hope, it reminds us. So we're always looking for a reminder of it. But sometimes we get lost in the weeds, we get lost in the bushes, in the thorny bushes, and we lose our hope. But yeah, the hope's inside, but we look for it outside because we're looking for things to kind of remind us of that hope. And that's where nostalgia kind of comes in. I was talking about this before, about nostalgia, right? Now we look, so when we're looking for hope, right? When we're lost, we're just like, oh man, I don't know what's going on in the world or in my own life or anywhere. And so we're looking for hope. And then we sometimes look back. I remember that time, when I was younger, when everything seemed to move so smoothly, and all those times. But this is something important to look into, is whenever you're looking into that time, really look into it. Because what I started to do was I would look into that time, I'd think, oh yeah, it was so beautiful, but I actually go back into that time, and I was pining for another time then, because I was still trying to escape then. And so always remember this, that it doesn't exist in that nostalgia either. That's just a created memory. It's kind of what do they call, like a limited hangout. I guess it's not the right way to use that word, but it's a way to place, you get kind of trapped in that nostalgia, and you have that kind of butterfly feeling, but in the end it just gives you indigestion. You're kind of like, oh, I went into nostalgia, it was good for a little bit, now I don't know how I feel now. So I just wanted to share that about nostalgia, because and then this leads me into everything else. So I had I put up a Japanese channeling. I put up two channelings. The first channeling was relatively benign, but then the second channeling, Sandalphon came in and he just like threw down everything. And he went really, really far, and I think he was really, really on the target. And I had a serious psychic attack. I haven't had one in a while. I thought they were over for me, but they're not. It was a serious, serious psychic attack, and they just threw me for a loop, and I'm still kind of struggling from it. Just really knocked me off. Yeah, I was pretty much on the target with everything, but I had to take it down. I put it up on my own kind of private server, so it's up there, but it's not here on YouTube, because that's, yeah. But yeah, because I woke up in the morning after this really severe psychic attack, and I took it down. I was like, I'm not here to be attacked for this stuff. I'm not here to start wars or anything. I'm just channeling. I'm here to bring hope. But yeah, Sandalphon really threw down. um, yeah. So anyway, so I wanted to talk about, so the psychic attack, it really kind of knocks you off. And why would I be attacked at this time? I thought, things were already, everything was okay. I thought everything was kind of, we went through this big thing, but I realized that now, if you'll notice what's going on in the mass media, that things are really starting to heat up. And so this is kind of like one of the last kind of, they're just throwing this energy out there, and they're trying as hard as possible to bring down as many people as possible with this energy, because yeah, because they realize that it's kind of like the last hurrah, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, so it's really intense. That energy out there is just like, oh my goodness. It reminds me of when the crazy times in 2020 started. There was a similar type of energy there. It was just, yeah. But so this is like the next wave, I guess. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that. And then, so Tartaria. Okay, so why do I bring up Tartaria? Well, Tartaria, if you're not familiar with it, you can check it out. It is a theory that the history that we've been given isn't really the correct history. It's a theory that we are taught that we are in the pinnacle of our civilization now, that in the past it was like dark ages after dark ages after dark ages, and they built up to this era that we're in now, the enlightened time that we're in. But the theory is that that's not the case, that in fact we are in what might be called a dark age at the moment, and that there was a really wonderful time before. And this is the explanation for all of this amazing architecture that we find from the old world. When we look, even, for example, the White House in America, or if you go to Italy, you go to Venice, and you see these beautiful buildings and whimsical, very romantic, and they don't build them now. And it's the answer to that question, why don't they build them now? And so it's a very, very big theory in that sense. And so I've been following it because I've always loved these old buildings and the whimsical feeling that, well, nostalgia that you get, and always wondered, why do I get nostalgia when I'm looking at this building? I never grew up with that building. Why? But it triggers something deep in the DNA, deep in your heart, and you think, I don't know, there's something there. And so that kind of got me down that path, and I started researching. I think more than saying researching, I started listening to a lot of people who did research, and it brought up a lot of great questions that can't really be answered. And so it's a really interesting idea. But so recently I discovered someone who was in the forefront of this research, but has flipped to the other side, meaning that, not to that, I mean, that's not the way to say it. He was doing all of this research and presenting all this information, but then he switched and said that I was wrong, all of that stuff is fake, it's not real, this is not real, I can explain it all away, we should trust what the history books told us. And so I started listening to what he was talking about, and it brought me to it causes doubt, right? Doubt is a very powerful thing. We are in a time of discernment in this planet, and so I'm very thankful for this person for bringing that to my attention. So bringing that doubt to me, because doubt is seen at times as a negative thing, but it's a very positive thing. So you doubt, and then you realize, think, oh, okay. So you go down that pathway of doubting, and maybe all of this is all made up. Maybe the history is exactly as they said it was, exactly, and this is just made up. And the point that really got me, this person, I thought, wow, they're really good. The point that got me was the, I don't know if I can say that word, but I guess it starts with a C. And it ends with a munist, and starts with a bowl and ends with a shavix. But a lot of the techniques that they would use when they come into power is to erase the history, change the history so that it looks good for them, right? And they were saying, well, this whole Tartaria thing, that's what it is. It's just a way of changing the history. For the first time hearing it, it's like, oh, wow, maybe that's right. But then after a few days, you start having the questions, well, wait, that still doesn't explain this. That still doesn't explain this. That's not an answer to any of these things. And then to answer a question that doesn't have a really answer to it with such certainty is questionable. It's like, well, how can you be so certain? And that's what kind of made me realize, like, that's interesting. This person is getting ahead of the story. This Tartaria idea is, I think it's something that's entering the mass consciousness. It's big, and it's still kind of maybe in the beginning stages, or maybe it's past that stage, but it's going to start getting bigger and bigger. It's going to blast throughout the whole mass consciousness. Everyone's going to be talking about it. It's like that word fake news that just started out as a small thing. Now, even here in Japan, people who don't speak English, they say fake news. It's it's everywhere. So it's a word that's going to become a meme, not in the mass media meme, but, well, it is in the mass media, but not in the meme that we think of. But the meme that it's a word that becomes really powerful. And so they had to get ahead of the story. How do you get ahead of the story? Well, you start off on one side explaining how this is all happening, and you gain a following, and people say, wow, that's amazing, that's amazing, that's amazing. Get all this trust, and then flip it around and say, oh, you know what, I was wrong about the whole thing. And that's all you need. You just need that seed of doubt, because depending on how many people are actually willing to ask the next question, because you're approaching a what is that called? It's not a psychosis. You're approaching a belief barrier, and it's if you're not ready for it, you'll just shut down. So it's a way of shutting people down, shutting their curiosity down. See, I know all this stuff. I'm telling all this stuff, but oh, you know what? I was wrong. And then everyone's like, oh, they just believe that. And then that doubt is strong enough to maybe close you down if you're not awake enough. But the thing is, it's not true. It's not going to happen now, because there's enough people that are asking questions. But I just thought it was interesting. I got knocked down. And so I'm very thankful for that person for doing that, because doubt is very powerful, because it helps you to go deeper into what you're learning. So thank you. I won't name the person, but yeah, thank you for that. You are doing a service to us as humanity, because we are trying to learn discernment. We're trying to get, ascend. So we need to know. We can't be fooled by stuff too easily. So all of, the dark serves the light. Everything is working together in the most perfect way. And I'm not saying that this person's dark or light or anything like that, but just that all of these different things, these different polarities, are helping us to learn. We are getting a master's course in how to discern. And Rachel, sorry I didn't go. So many different perspectives, and some people want to stop free speech, but not me. Because they don't like what is said or disagree. Build our beauty in this life where I'm from. That's what I see. I think some of Tartaria turned to stone, but who really knows? Yeah, exactly. And I think it's so important in these days to keep an open mind, right? To be able to be big enough to say, okay, well, for example, and Rachel, I definitely think there's something to that. And that whole Medusa story, and there are a few other stories that are related to that. It's very interesting. And I think it's really important for us, as we are kind of raising dimension, to understand that we live in a multidimensional world, that there are many different perspectives, and it's the more that we open up to many different perspectives and ideas, it allows us to see things from many different ways, and then we just go through that perspective. But I just wanted to share that, because this also happened to me with the Course in Miracles as well. I was shaken a bit. Doubts were planted, and it was good. It's good, because when you do have these doubts, then you really understand where you stand. I mean, if you can be thrown off your path by a simple doubt, then you're not really on that path anyway, and it deepens your understanding. It's just like debates, right? Debates. I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like debates personally. I'm kind of like a peace man. Peace. Let's get along. Come on. Why can't we, all live in peace? But I found that debates actually are very helpful in solidifying like where you stand and what you think and why you think what you think. And I think that's really important for those of us that are kind of a little bit like ahead of the curve at the moment. Well, I hope that we are, that we can help others that when they come around, and just so we'll be able to, we can be, in a sense, I think as my teacher used to say, unshakable in what we know. So, and what we don't know, I guess. So anyway, that was my big old ramble. I just wanted to talk about that. I thought it was important to talk about. So I'm going to go into a channeling, and I'm just going to ask if they have anything else to, yeah, if they have anything to add or subtract or whatever. Here we go. Greetings. We heard that one that you know is Yeshua, and we are here, and you are there, and we are everywhere, and so are you. You are everywhere. You are so much more than what this is. You're so much more than this body. You're so much more than what you think you are. You are everywhere all of the time. You are everything. You are a part of God. All of you are a part of God. We are all one. We are one with you. You are one with us. We are everywhere. You are everywhere. What beautiful beings you are, that you come down here and you separate and you look at everything as separate from you, and you separate into sides, into polarities, into one side or the other. But you are both sides at all times. You are one. You are love incarnate. You are love incarnate on this planet. You come down here to bring love to these two sides, to show the world that it's possible to bring love. It's possible to bring peace where it seems like there is no peace, to bring love and peace where all is conflict. And that's what you are showing just by living your life, by going through every single day in this beautiful little planet, going through every single day and bringing a little bit of love to everything that you do. You are bringing the love. You are bringing the hope that the world needs. The world needs so much hope at this moment, and you are bringing it with your light, with your love. We are so proud of you. Okay. All right. It's related, I guess. So Rachel, thanks for acknowledging me. Yeah, hey, thanks for chatting. I'm glad to. Yeah, thanks for joining in. It's really cool to see someone else who's open to this. It's yeah. Yeah. So I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. And as they say or don't say, I've got this mug that says "Go Beach," and I have to say "Go Beach" because it's yeah. Anyway, never mind. Silly. I hope you guys are hopeful. Ciao for now.